Good morning, everybody. Shift your mindset here with a new episode, the torturous side of the Jehovah Witness organization. And particularly for the people who suffer from social anxiety, introversion, socially awkward, or being shy. And we all have those parts in us. And it was a viewer's question yesterday. So I did my research and I thought I'm gonna say something about that side of the organization. For those people who suffer from anxieties, who are introverted, maybe feeling socially awkward, and all those things. That's why I created now a membership on my channel. You can become a member. It's not for the money. If you don't want to become a member, no problem. I'm still making the same content. But if you are a member, there are some advantages, like also to vote for a topic on a video. But this time I still do it without the membership. But in the future I'm gonna see who's gonna vote for a certain topic. I have to research it, put my time in it. That's why I created the membership. And also faster answers for the people who are commenting on the videos. I'm still gonna read every comment. I'm still gonna do the best I can in the time I have. So no worries, people. No stress. If you want to become a member, fine. If you don't want to become a member, also fine. So that's just a quick note beforehand. Now we go to the topic of today, because it's hard to be a Jehovah Witness, but maybe it's extra hard if you are shy, introvert, and have social anxiety. And about 10 to 15% of the people have social anxiety. So it's not that you are the only one who are suffering from this. But why is the organization so torturous for those people? And what can we learn from it? And what can we do about it? I will say in the end. The first thing I researched for myself and came up with is difficulty, a challenge, I will call it, is the high social expectations of the Jehovah Witnesses. Because they emphasize community involvement. It has nothing to do with you as an individual. It's about a group. It's about a community. You have weekly meetings. You have door-to-door ministry. You have social gatherings, you have circuits, conventions, you have everything. And if you have social anxiety, that can be overwhelming. It was already overwhelming for me. So if you have social anxiety, it's a lot worse for you. Because you have to engage socially. You have to. They expect you to socially engage. They give you that feeling that if you don't socialize, there's something wrong with you. So you're feeling discomfort and maybe you're feeling stress. And another thing is, they encourage you to interact with others regularly. So it creates already a lot of expectations. And if some people are shy or introverted or have social anxiety, it's a huge challenge. And because they think, if I don't do it, I will be judged. And you will. That's the problem. You will. There's no room for being yourself. So they encourage you so much. They say encourage, but it's pressuring. It's pressuring if something is wrong with you if you don't do it. So that's one of the challenges you have, and that's one of the reasons this organization is torturous for people, let alone people with anxieties. The other thing is that you always get the pressure from them to conform and to perform. Because social behavior in the Jehovah Witness is monitored. Monitored by the elders, monitored by the elders' wives, but also monitored by the congregation. If you are not on the congregation meeting, the chances are high that someone is gonna call you. Hey, I missed you. Pressure. So that leads that people feel even more anxious about their behavior, of their interactions. And because you feel pressured to meet the expectations of the group. It's not one-on-one, it's a group versus you. And people get hyper aware of their actions inside that religion. And people who suffer from those things even more are worrying about a mistake they maybe make or whatever they lack accordingly to the group, and that can increase your stress significantly. The other thing is, in this section, the pressure and confirmation is, it's expected from you that you are part of public speaking. From childhood on, you get assignments on the theocratic school, you get pressured that you have to be a part of it, other children around you already doing it, or grown-ups, and you're pressured also to have regular talks, group discussions, also with the Watchtower. How many people in my congregation were struggling to give an answer on the Watchtower? But it's often said that if you don't give at least one answer during the Watchtower study, you're not a good JW. There's something wrong with you. What's the problem with only one answer? Yeah, it encourages the other brothers and sisters, they always said to me. They love it to hear your voice, all that stuff. But if you're struggling with social anxiety, it is intimidating. It's not about that someone wants to hear you, but it feels intimidating. And also the fear of speaking in front of the congregation can lead to heightened anxiety. If you have to stand on the podium and 100 people, nowadays it's only 20 people, so it's better because the kingdom halls are empty, but it is a big deal for some people to speak in front of the congregation. But you have that pressure, that confirmation that you need to do it to be an active Jehovah Witness. So that's the second one. The third one, why it's torturous for those people, is for every people, is this one. That's the shunning and isolation part of the Jehovah Witnesses. Because whatever they're saying now, in court, in Norway, in Italy now, in Czech Republic, this fellowshipping is a form of excommunication and it's still alive. You are shunned by the whole congregation, including your parents, your sister, your brother, your nephew, your niece, your auntie, everyone. And that can be emotionally and physiologically devastating. But for people who suffer from anxiety or shyness or are introverted, they is already having problems with social connections. And if that falls away, family ties are cut, or that they're gonna be rejected, is especially traumatic. Because they already struggle with those feelings of isolation and stuff like that in the Jehovah Witnesses. So what are they feeling when they're outside? It's even worse than what the normal Jehovah Witnesses already have to suffer when they're getting shunned. And especially, I think, with the family members. Because if you have social anxieties, idea of being shunned by loved ones is even worse, and you feel even more emotionally trapped. So for those people, it's harder to leave. So we can never judge someone who stays in the Jehovah Witnesses. We can say, oh, but you have to go, it's better for you. Yes, it is. But they have to feel that themselves. And we have to be empathic for the people with social anxiety who can't cut family ties, who feel that immense pressure if they leave, and they are emotionally trapped. So please, people, bear with them and just send them love, because everybody is doing the best they can at that time. The other one is lack of emotional support. Because Jehovah Witnesses is all about, how do you say it? Conformity. Yes, conformity. And they are discourage expression of doubts, personal struggles, and what I found sexy, but they don't find it sexy, vulnerability. So if you have social anxieties and you have no supportive environment to talk about your struggles or the problems you face, it is isolating. So they are not about personal growth. They're not about emotional expressions. So someone with social anxieties will activate a coping mechanism for those social challenges, because there is no room for them to express how they feel. There is no room to be vulnerable to another Jehovah Witness, because they lack that emotional intelligence. So you feel more and more isolated. And the problem is, in that religion they emphasize perfection. And all the JWs who left the religion knows that perfection doesn't exist. But in that religion you have that constant drive to meet all those high standards. And it's not only one high standard, it's so many high standards that someone who has feeling anxieties think, I'm not up for this task, I'm inadequate. No, that's not gonna work. And external experiences and behaviors are emphasized in the Jehovah Witness religion. And you just want to be accepted for who you are. But there is no place for that, because the pressure to appear perfect in front of others is a big burden on people who suffer from anxieties. And the reality is, there is no perfection, and perfection has left the kingdom whole hundreds of years ago. But you can feel inadequate. But there is no perfection in the Jehovah Witnesses. They appear perfect. We have the perfect relationship. We are the perfect JW couple. We have perfect kids. But if you look at home, nothing is perfect with them. They just putting on a show, a big Broadway show, to appear perfect, but that influences so many people who see that and think I don't meet those expectations. So they feel even more isolated. So that's why it's so torturous to be in the Jehovah Witnesses if you are a normal person already. But if you also suffer from anxieties, and don't get me wrong, you're still a normal person, but if you don't have those feelings, it's already hard. But if you have some other feelings aside of that, and I had shyness myself, I was introverted at times also. Later on, I was extroverted and stuff like that. But I also had anxieties in the beginning. We all have those feelings sometimes. When you have to give a talk or whatever, you don't feel up to the task. You think, oh no, but I'm not that good in giving talks as brother blah 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 blah. But you're unique, but you don't know that at that time. You always measure yourself to other people, and then you feel less than other people because they have more privileges. They have given more talk, stuff like that. So we all experienced social anxiety. And how cool is it if you can get rid of those things? But that's for later. The other thing is a limited social network. We are taught as a Jehovah Witness to avoid close relationship with worldly people. And they limit their social circle. But for introverted people or people who have anxieties, it would be best if they weren't isolated in one little group, but were more outgoing and focusing on maintaining relationship within that Jehovah Witness group, that congregation maybe. Yeah, it's not gonna work because you are naturally inclined to form large networks. So you are disconnected from the broader world. And if you are disconnected, then you feel a sense of separation. I always felt it. Why do I have to be separated from all the other people? I just can go get along with other people, no problem. And that if you are isolated from the outside world, your feelings of awkwardness and insecurity only are reinforced. So that's a big problem. And the last one I want to mention is the psychological and emotional toll it takes. Because you feel pressured to conform to the teaching and the behaviors of the Jehovah Witnesses. So you feel inadequate, and we are struggling. Everyone is struggling with things. But that relentless focus of the Jehovah Witnesses on doing the right thing. What is doing the right thing? They don't know it, but doing the right thing. That's just one of the weasel words of them. And being present at all meetings and ministry and stuff like that, that increases stress and pressure. And it also happened to me. And what it does is you are suppressing natural behavior. That's what my conclusion is. Because we all find it difficult, even without the anxieties, we all find it difficult to express ourselves in a natural way. Why? Because there are rigid expectations of how you and me should behave within the truth. So we can't relax, we can't be ourselves, and that leads to anxieties, even more anxieties, of a burnout or depression or stuff like that. And you're not getting the help you need from the people inside that religion. Because a therapist, a worldly therapist, is a no-go, it's a red flag. You just have to pray more, you have to preach more, you have to do more time in the ministry because Jehovah will bless you, stuff like that. But your natural behavior is dumbed down by the organization. There is no room for you to be yourself. And that, with the constant need that they expect more of you, builds only more on the anxieties someone can have. So there's no room for an own identity. There's no room for anything in that organization. And that's why it's so torturous organization. Because we all struggle. Someone struggles with anxieties, like this video is about. But another one can struggle with being themselves, or low self-esteem, or whatever it is. We all struggle with things in life. And how beautiful would it be that it attracts people on our path that can help us, that are genuinely interested in us, that just take you as who you are, not who they want you to be, expect you to be, with their rigid doctrines, has nothing to do with the Bible. So for all those people who are suffering from anxieties, there is hope. But is there hope in the Jehovah Witness religion for you? I can honestly say no. And that's my opinion. You don't have to take it. It's my opinion. But I think you have to fly alone, without the organization, to help yourself get rid of the anxieties and everything. Why? Because success often is a lonely road. Maybe it's a tough road, it's a hard road, and it's not for everyone, but you can do it. Because those who follow others like sheep, I took the sheep word because it's good resemblance of the Jehovah Witnesses. They call themselves sheeps. Those who follow others like sheep will never know who they truly are. Only those who follow their own path can discover the truth of their own potential. Let that sink in. Those who fly alone have the strongest wings. Those who walk alone have the strongest direction. The rest will always be in need of others, of their survival. Jehovah Witnesses always need each other for their survival. Otherwise, they're lost. They always need attention. We see it everywhere around us in the Jehovah Witness religion. They want attention. They want recognition. Why? They have to get that for survival. But, and this is a good one, it's a good motivational speech, I am at peace alone, needing no attention, no recognition. I'm not saying those who need support, there's a fly here. I'm not saying those who need support are weak. No, this is for those who have fought battles alone. And maybe you're fighting a battle alone now. Maybe you fight against anxiety, against feelings of feeling unworthy, low self-esteem, whatever it is. Those who have felt like they don't fit in, maybe. Those who have never had support in anything they do. All of those who feel no one's believe in them, this is for you. You don't need them to believe in you if you believe in you. You don't need support because you've got your own back. The best part will be when you truly live the life you want to live, when you speak your own truth, when you embrace who you are, with all the flaws we have, embrace who you are. Then you gain real respect and real love. It will all come good in the end. And when it does, you won't have only inspired yourself to be more, but you also have inspired many others. I also had to learn how to fight alone. And because of that, I am strong today. I developed my inner strength and I can't be broken. I am unbreakable at the moment. Because of the pain, because of the suffering, I am strong. Because of the struggle, because of the shunning, I have character most people will never know. And I appreciate others more than ever. I have more compassion than ever. It's something I learned after stopping to be a Jehovah Witness. Because of that pain of leaving the Jehovah Witnesses, leaving your family behind, you can be strong. And we all have to go deep into the darkness, but now you and me, we have more depth. Now I can see much clearer. And I had to face a huge amount of internal challenges, believe me. But now I can face any challenge that gets in my way. And I will destroy every challenge. And I want you to say to yourself tonight in the mirror before you go to bed, and it helped me also. So I hope you will do it tonight when you have a bad day or whatever. You have struggles, you have things to conquer. Say this to yourself tonight in the mirror. I am proud of who I have become. I am proud I have overcome. I am proud I kept going. I am proud of who I am, who I've become. I am proud I stayed true to myself, because now I can live as myself, with respect from others, and most important, pride and respect from myself. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of this video. Share it with everybody who needs it in this time. We all have our struggles, we all face our challenges right now. Maybe in society, maybe in the world around us. Maybe you are just busy with exiting the religion. Maybe you are going through shunning right now. We all have our challenges, but we've got each other's back. And that's the most beautiful thing there is. And I have faith and trust in all of you guys. Thank you for watching. See each other on the next episode.